TC Spiritual Shepherd, back with another one, y'all. All right, y'all, so I'm just letting you guys know, it's 65 days until my wedding, all right? It's just about 2 months away from my wedding. I thought it was about a month away, but it's about 2 months away. It's gonna be upon me quicker than I know it, but regardless. Couple of like updates too. I've been like literally immaculate with my nutrition and immaculate with my daily training. Cardio every day, breathwork every day, lifting every day, calisthenics every day. And then two, sometimes I'll sit more in stillness. A lot of times I just sit meditative, creating videos every day, doing everything like that, okay? And then obviously trading every single AM, not over leveraging, thinking long term, cultivating long term, stepping up for you and stepping up for your woman, stepping up for your family. That you realize that like this is the way. This is the way. This is how you step out of the matrix. This is how you end the 9-to-5 job. This is how you pay for everything that you're able to pay for. This is how you get extremely wealthy. Extremely wealthy. I mean like wealth you've never experienced before, and you're a breatharian. So maybe this is kind of what I'm supposed to talk about, is like you went through this path, you discovered this path that you are, that you wanted to take when you first started, and you might be young. So like you might have started like 15, 18, 20, 21, somewhere in there, or yeah, 18, let's say like you started at like 18, like perfect time. And you're just like, I'm going to start training every day. I'm going to do all these other different types of things. I'm going to study spirituality. I'm going to study, like the Bible. I'm going to study all these different types of things and cultivate the best version of me and just be the best version of me like that I could ever possibly be. I feel like God wouldn't be mad at me, right? So that's what you decided. You decided to do that, and it served you well, and you kept going, and you started asking more and more and more questions. Questions keep you free. Questions keep you liberated. Charlie Kirk said that, by the way, and I don't even really listen to Charlie Kirk, but I'm just letting you guys know. He literally said that asking questions is the thing that keeps you free, that keeps liberty for you, that keeps your freedom. Bro. Record everything. Record everything. Because like, they don't get it. You too are helping yourself arise your energy by recording yourself. Now you're helping yourself in the future. You're helping heal yourself in the past. You're healing better versions of yourself. You're transcending. You're stepping into better vibrations, a betterment vibration of who you are as a being now, because you're doing the work in the now. You're being a better version in the now, that no matter what, the futures are always just aligning even better. You're not worried about the future, okay? But this is a main thing is that like, so you were, discovering along this path, you memorized verses, you memorized books, you memorized lifestyle, you memorized and then two, you started asking questions like, why do we talk about Paul all the time, but we don't ever talk about Yeshua? Why do we call him Jesus when J was never existent? The J never existed. Like what? And then they're like, well, it doesn't matter. But why does it say that God says that it matters, that you shouldn't defile my name? You shouldn't defile my name. You shouldn't minimize my name. My name is so great that you shouldn't minimize it. Matter of fact, it's so great, you probably shouldn't even speak it. You should keep it silent. That's what the Bible says. So take it as you will. But you started along this path, and you said, okay, so Yeshua himself said that fasting is no food, no water. But why does the pastor and the preacher, and you're asking this at 15. You're asking this at 15. You're asking this at 18. So why don't we fast when we say like we're all gonna fast together? Why don't we just like no food, no water? Why do we do no food, no water? Why don't we do that? And they're just like, well, if you want to do that, you could do that. So you're saying that we shouldn't do it like Yeshua did it? Or are you saying that I could just do it the way that Yeshua did it, and then you're fine to not do it the way that Yeshua did it because of what Yeshua already did? But then Yeshua told you to do this? Also, he said when, not if. He said when you fast. Okay? When you fast. When you fast. there's a win in there. That means that you're supposed to, like there's a specific period of time to, like every month when the moon is in your sun sign. Why the moon in your sun sign? The moon governs the magnetism, the darker shadow versions of yourself, dark side of the moon, the darker shadow versions of yourself. And by you fasting in your sun sign, you're respecting God, the Son of God. You're saying, look, during this period of time when the moon's in Libra, I'm a Libra. I was born at this time. I'm going to that was the only time. That's the only way that we can tell what time was, is that we actually paid attention to the 12 and 13 moons that were cyclical through the circadian rhythms, through the cyclical nature of a 20-and-a-half-day cycle, very similar to that of the 4 seasons or the 4 phases or multiple phases of what the moon, of the menstrual cycle, etc., of the feminine cycle. The masculine cycle is the 24-hour cycle that we have. Our AM rises up. Our AM rises up. Our sun, our embodiment rises up in the AM. It rises up in the AM, and it's the most potent, the most vibrational in the AM. In the PM, it's not. You're ready to sleep. You're ready to what? Go back and get cyclical testosterone, HGH, and other types of hormones that is required through sleep. Is not even required through sleep. It's required through rest and melatonin. So when you receive rest and you have a high dense amount of melatonin, that is what you're really looking for. You're not looking for 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but we've proven that 7 to 8 hours of sleep produces that amount of melatonin without melatonin supplementation. Or maybe we need to have better education on how do we actually build melatonin. So like long-term darkroom periods of time, cultivation of long-term darkroom periods of time produce more melatonin, so it requires less sleep, so we actually can output more energy in our energetic body. Why when they say, oh, I'm just not going to eat Skittles, or I'm just not going to eat, I'm not going to eat bonbons or Cinnabons or cinnamon rolls or cookies or cakes, they think that that's fasting. That is elimination. That is not fasting. That is elimination. That is not fasting. Fasting is no food, no water. No food, no water. No nothing. A water fast is no food. Nothing. Okay? There's no way around it. There's no way around it. There's only one way, and it's when you fast. So that means that you're supposed to fast this way, and there's only one way to fast. Are you hearing me yet? But have you fasted? When was the last time that you fasted? When was the last time that you breathed before you ate? When was the last time that you drank water instead of thought, I'm hungry, but you're really probably dehydrated? When was the last time that you fasted and did your breath work and realized that I can produce more water inside of me? I can be happier. I can actually have the jawline my wife's been longing to see for so long. When we fast, not if we fast. There's no if. It's a presupposition. It's a presupposition. Okay? It means that we are to fast. We are meant to fast. So that's what I'm saying. You start asking these questions and they're like, well, you could do that. What do you mean you can do that? So you're saying that you don't do that? You're saying that you can do that, TC, but I don't have to do that. The arrogance, it's spiritual ego, it's spiritual egotism. It's the same thing that we get caught up in, like, oh, I know all these spirituality things, I know all these conspiracy theorist things, I know all these like things that they're not telling the people and all this type of stuff. You're confused because you think that matters or that makes you better than somebody else. But actually the only thing that we're here to do is to put the ego in its place, to put the flesh in its place, to put the ego in its place, to not have ego and to walk in the spirit, to put the flesh in its place and to walk in the spirit. The way that you put the flesh into its place is you punish the flesh. And I'm not saying punish as in punish it. I'm saying like you literally train yourself so hard to where you are so sore that you only think good thoughts. Drop down so you have good thoughts. You need to do 1,000 push-ups so you earn the good mindset. and then you'll walk the good path. Peace and